Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode. And I just wanted to talk real quick today about some of the things I've been covering in my group and on the blog. But basically, for those that know me, you know that I started Successful Coaches Enterprise because as the training director at a coach school, I just kept seeing so many coaches walk away from trying to establish a business, either right in the beginning or up to about 2 years in. They would just get really frustrated and overwhelmed and decide that that was it. They weren't going to continue to try to build their business anymore. And in fact, if you look at the statistics, 80% of coaches just don't make it, either because they give up or other factors that come into not being able to kind of get a business going. But that is such a high number, and I really wanted to do something about it. And so that's what kind of got me started with coaching other coaches, along with the other areas that I was coaching. And when I kind of established the mind map or the vision for my business, I'm a big visual person. I actually showed all the different areas that I struggled with when I first started, and then also, the struggles that I've seen as the training director from coaches trying to start their business. And I've been the training director for over 10 years. So I've seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of coaches come through and try to start their businesses. And again, for whatever reason, usually within the first 2 years, just, stop, even if they start their business. Some coaches, of course, don't start a business. They're there to enhance their current businesses as counselors or working for companies or things along those lines. But those the ones that came in as coaches to start a business, only about 20% of them actually do it. And then out of that 20%, there's really, and I love how it follows the 80-20 rule, and out of that 20%, the average coach makes about $50,000 a year. And although that's nothing to sneeze at, that could be a pretty good living, especially depending on where you live. But for those that, want more, they struggle, right? They struggle at that 50,000 mark, and they don't really know how to get out. So I don't know if you're one of those coaches that, is in that kind of range where you want to, you're making a living, but you want to do more, or maybe you're struggling, to really get your business going. Maybe you're in the first couple of years and you're not really sure, what to do to build it. And so what I've learned through doing the research really is kind of all the things that take away from us being able to establish successful businesses. And one of the biggest things is overwhelm. There's a lot to building a business. It's not an easy thing. And I don't care who's out there telling you it's easy. It's not easy. And it takes a lot of time. It takes patience, but it also takes things like that you would never imagine you'd have to do as a coach, right? You have to learn things that, we weren't really particularly thinking about learning, like, creating a website, like writing blogs, or like this, doing a podcast, although I thoroughly enjoy doing the podcast. But just really thinking about the things that suck our time and energy that are not coaching, like we're not with our clients. And if you really look at the percentage of time that we have to put into building the business versus really coaching and being with clients, it's an uneven amount. It's an overwhelming amount. Things like, again, you're like creating your website, creating leads, creating content, maybe, a Facebook group, social media marketing, creating graphics, proofreading, content that you create, email marketing, right? The money's in the list. Like, how do you start to email market? Sales pages, landing pages, all those things, opt-ins, all those things tend to suck up our time and energy, but also they create overwhelm because we have to become an expert in all these areas to really feel like we're putting our business out there and we're doing what we can to build our business, get more clients, help people, but help ourselves as well, that oxygen mask that I always talk about. So part of the the things that I like to talk about and teach is about things like managing your time. This whole month we talked about time blocking, managing your time. We talked in the group, we talked on the blog, and then now I'm talking about it here. And also some of the guests this month really talked about ways you could structure your time and your energy levels, right? Because it's all about energy. You know, really managing your energy so that you don't get overwhelmed and so that you're doing enough on your business as well as in your business. And of course, making enough time so that we can do what we enjoy, which is the coaching part. So we want to think about, or at least the way I would like us to think about building a business is really scheduling out time to do the tasks that we might not really enjoy doing. If, for instance, you have a blog and you're trying to build a base off the blog so that you can build up your email marketing, so that you can build your following, or even if you're doing things like Facebook Lives and you're not real comfortable with video, or you're not comfortable with the content that you have to provide during those, then really just thinking about the times that work best for you and blocking out that time. And I'm not going to go real into detail. If you want to hear more about the time blocking, there's different types of time blocking programs or platforms that you can use. And you can go onto the blog, successfulcoaches.com, and hit the blog tab. And you can see the couple blog posts that I made off time blocking, as well as my email list. I've also been putting it out into emails. But anyway, just really looking at your strengths, weaknesses, where your energy is strong, where your energy might be low, and playing on those strengths, on those highs. So just as an example, I like to write, but I don't like to write all the time. And I feel like Mondays are just not the days for me to write. My brain is not functioning as high as it normally can. Even a Tuesday, today's the day after the holiday, even a Tuesday after a holiday feels the same way to me. Like I don't really want to write and try to be real creative in that way anyway at the beginning of the week. And then I definitely don't want to do it on a Friday at the end of the week, because now I'm starting to wind down. Like I'm trying to finish everything that needs to be finished. And Fridays are typically my back office day, where I'm like my push to get everything done for the week that I wasn't able to during the week. So I don't want to have to worry about creating content on Fridays either, at least written content. I have a big distinction for myself between written and like video. Like I can pop onto Facebook Live any day of the week and just start talking to people, right? And just start asking questions. But for me to sit down and write something, I have to make sure it's typically a Wednesday or Thursday, because that's my strength. That's my strength area. And that's where my energy is the highest to create written content. And then, again, the Facebook Lives are doing video. I can do that typically, any day of the week, really. As long as I have an idea or I have a question from somebody, I can hop on, I can enjoy it. I have a lot of fun, and people people typically, react well to it, and they like that type of spontaneity from me. So I have the energy for that more so, during the week, than I do for the written content. And it might be other things for you. Like it might be, maybe your social media marketing, especially if you're planning it or scheduling it ahead of time. It might mean that, Sundays are best for you to do it for the week, or maybe it's Wednesday that you do it for the next 7 to 10 days, or, whatever works for you. But it's really looking at where your strengths are and where your energy levels are during the week and planning everything around it. And then also just taking a lot of breaks, right? Because we tend to, as coaches and entrepreneurs, sit at our desk from, the minute that we wake up until we actually have to pull ourselves away to go eat food, or to, nourish our bodies, or do some exercise, or whatever, like take care of the kids at night. But otherwise, like we tend to just sit here and just work from day to night. And that's just not good for us. It's not good for our energy. It's not good for our well-being. It's not good for our health either. So really, once you figure out where your strengths are and play to those strengths, as far as planning out when you're going to do your tasks in your business, Also think about, when are you going to take care of you outside of your business? Like simple things like schedule a half-hour lunch. If you use an online scheduler for clients, block out that half hour or that hour. Get done at a certain time. Make a schedule. Have your schedule. You start at whatever 8 a.m. You're done at 4, or whatever. So you start at 9, you're done at 5 or 6, and you have that half hour to hour lunch. Or if you got kids home, then you stop at like 3, and you spend some family time, and maybe you come back at night and you do some night coaching or group coaching. Anything like that. It's just really about scheduling around your strongest energy points, and then allowing yourself to rest and nourish yourself and really take care of yourself in all ways, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And schedule it in, because otherwise we'll forget. We won't do it. And then we'll be overwhelmed. And by the end of the week, we're stressed and we're tired and we can't relax. And, all that kind of negative things start to pop up. And of course, mindset is, 90% of success comes from mindset. And so it's really important to make sure that we're nourishing that we're making sure our mindset is positive. And our mindset can't be positive if our bodies are tired, or if our emotions are tired, or what have you. So really thinking along the lines of, again, time blocking, making sure you're making time and putting it on your calendar for you to take care of yourself, take care of, whoever else you have to take care of, your family, or, your kids, whatever it is for you individually. And I really believe that the time blocking works, that the scheduling works. It helps us not to be overwhelmed. It helps us to be more productive. And it also helps us to get through the things that we don't necessarily enjoy doing. And you don't have to enjoy every part of your business. I know that there's some people out there like, oh, all clouds and fluffiness around every chore or every task that you have to do in your business. And I just think that that's unrealistic. There are going to be things that you don't enjoy that you have to do, but find a good way to get through it and a positive mindset to get through it. But that doesn't mean you have to say, that you're going to love doing that part of your business, or you're going to, enjoy that task. You're going to do your best, and of course, have a positive mindset. This is needed. It helps. This task is important for your business. It helps us to get clients. It helps us to make money, what have you. The other thing is, though, really, now that I just said that, when we talk about doing the tasks in our business that make us money, those are typically the tasks that we enjoy as a coach, because it's usually talking to clients or prospects, right? That's what's going to bring us money. That's what's going to help us to sustain ourselves and be able to help others. So it's the lead generation and the prospecting, and then of course the coaching. Those are the money-making activities, right? Those are the things that we really need to concentrate our time on. But then there's all that other stuff that still has to get done. So what do we do in that case? Well, this was a big thing that bothered me in the beginning of my business. I spent a lot of time looking for the answers, and downloading this thing and downloading that thing, and trying to figure out what I could do to really start generating enough income so I can feel relaxed enough to enjoy the good parts of my business. And what I realized was that really it's the tasks that we hate, or I don't like to use the word hate, but the tasks that we really don't enjoy, or that we're really not good at, that we feel like brings us down, or at least that's what it did for me. And so I couldn't wait until I didn't have to do it anymore. And of course, it never really comes where you don't have to do it 100%, but there comes a time where you're able to start thinking about outsourcing some of your activities and some of the tasks that have to be done. And in the beginning, it might be small. I feel like anybody can afford, if you have one client, you can afford 5 hours a month, say, for a VA. And let that VA, who can do 100 times more than we can in 5 hours for our business. And it can help to really push us forward. Not only is it going to help us with our energy and our mindset and our, the way that we feel about being in our business, but it'll help us to move the actual business forward, because they're going to be doing tasks that we're not that great at and that they are, and they're experts in. And if you can just outsource for 5 hours a month, I think it makes such a big difference in every part of our business and every part of our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. I truly believe that. And it could be something as simple as like lead generation or scheduling your social media posts or maybe proofreading some content that you created or creating content for you. If you give parameters to somebody and you say, hey, I want, this, I want a workbook and this is what I want it to cover, or here's an outline, and have them actually do the creating piece. Maybe they're creating a sales page for you or setting up your opt-in on your website. Whatever, like there's a ton of different things that a VA could do very easily for 5 hours a month and really start to move your business forward. So again, part of the reason for establishing Successful Coaches Enterprise was to start to look at creating kind of a one-stop shop for coaches, a place where a coach could go and get business coaching. They could get the help with the tasks that they don't really like to do or that they're not really good at, so that they can coach and then they can really work on talking to prospects and getting visible as far as getting out there and getting known, doing webinars, doing Facebook Lives, the things that really drive, the income part of our business that helps us to survive, and not only survive, but to shine. And then, of course, help others in that process, right? Because when we are helping ourselves and we're successful, that means that we're helping other people. And that's what we're in coaching for, or at least that's what I got into coaching for. So from my mind map, way back when, and I'm looking at it right now, a big part of it was the marketing agency. And so that has now come to fruition. And this month I launched the marketing agency for Successful Coaches. And I'm so excited about it. And I did want to just pop in and talk about the time blocking, talk about, again, just 5 hours a month, letting other people that are experts in certain areas that you're not, do the work and really let them help you to have a more successful business and take away some of that overwhelm for you. And then just to really kind of talk about that marketing agency, which allows you to offload some of those tasks. And the marketing agency is, again, a big part of the dream of my business. And there's one other piece that's coming later on in the year. And then my business will be a full kind of one-stop shop for coaches, because again, I went through all this and I wanted to help others to be able to not feel so overwhelmed and be more successful, and really help those that were finding it very difficult to stay in business to really stay in business, and again, kind of shine through. So what I did was I put together this team of talent, really, to help with creating websites, managing the websites, creating content, video, social media, proofreading, sales pages, all the things that fall under kind of marketing services. We have now launched that as part of the business, and I have a team that's really awesome. They're very talented, very nice, and want to see others succeed, and they're good at what they do. They've been doing it a while, and so I'm really excited that I curated this really good team to put together to help other coaches. So if that's something you're interested in, please take a look at the website, successfulcoaches.com, and click on that marketing agency tab and see what we have to offer in there. And I think that you'll like some of it. There are some VA packages along with other packages where you can just put out 5 to 10 hours a month to a VA. But again, more importantly, going back to that time blocking and playing on our strengths and weaknesses, if you find things that you are not as good at, that you want to be, you want to have done well in your business, then that's the time to look at outsourcing it. But time blocking and playing on our strengths is always going to help no matter what. So even if you kind of get through those tasks that we don't like, just think about, scheduling your tasks, your coaching, your personal life, your self-care, schedule it out, time block it, spend 40 to 45 minutes working on an activity, get up, walk around, clear your head, walk outside, get some sunshine, get a drink of water, have some lunch or breakfast or whatever, and then come back and start again and fresh. It allows us to be fresh. It allows us to uh, increase our energy in that time period and have a more positive energy as well when working in our business. So anyway, I was really excited to talk about the agency today and just really, again, give you a couple tips as far as being more productive and being more energetic in your business and letting go of some of that overwhelm. So hopefully you've enjoyed that part of it. It was a really quick episode. Next week we'll be back with some more interviews. So thank you guys for listening and have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks. Bye-bye.